just testing stuff here. I'll do that. There we go. I just refreshed my computer, so pretty much wiped everything. And by that I don't mean the game. I mean just like all my programs and all that stuff like that. I had to back up all the game stuff. I'm just trying to check if everything is working. So we're just gonna simply hide the chat. Have to figure that out. I'm pretty sure I have to get the link to the YouTube channel that I have. Stream. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, we could go on. I just tested the sound and sound looks good. I don't really use the studio. Bring this back up. YouTube is not receiving a video for maintenance through. You might see buffering. Everything looks good on the side. This. Something like that. I want to bigger size the chat, just so I have it. There you go. Either way, got the chat there. It looks like I have excellent connection again, so it's good. Everything's good. All right. As usual, as you can see, I was just kind of moving over stuff. Animations, tidying everything up. Trade these over here. I didn't get much time to work on things since we were gone, and we're working on the menus. We want to get the menu stuff sorted out. Again, I don't like touching that stuff when there's boring things that I have to do, because I could do the boring stuff off screen, and then when we do get screen time, I'll do like, I'm not just gonna say like it's not boring, but like, because sometimes coding can be, but the more like important stuff, or the stuff that has to get done. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move this blueprint over here, and then we're just gonna go to content folder on both of these. We're gonna make sure we fix up any kind of redirectors. We're going to close these guys, work again with the main guy. Well, there's this new drawer that technically you're supposed to use. I don't even think I know the button for this. So shit, we control spacebar. And that way you have this whole screen to kind of work with. Oh yes, as you can see, Oh, that's actually coming from the fences. Interesting. We're gonna have to save that now. Yeah, I guess we're supposed to use the content drawer, but I usually end up just using the windows a lot. Just find it's easier. I think it's because I'm always moving files from one spot to another and trying to tidy things up and look for things. So just when it comes to that performance part, it's going to be easier. Like, you don't want any like 8K textures or 4K textures, really. It'd be really nice if we could have all that stuff, but it's going to really bog down the game, bog down the performance. So when I have to go through all the textures of all the different assets and manually check them all, it's just nicer when they're all organized. In materials, you don't want any full materials on things. You want material instances. So when we have a ton of assets like all this stuff, and I need to go through each one of these and make sure they're all a material instance and they're all using one master material, it's a lot easier to have them more organized. And you can see we have a lot of stuff because we do want to make it kind of cool and fun. But yeah, so we are in the menus. We don't have anything open. This is fresh, so let's just do the thing. Hit the any button. And again, this works on controller. I believe I downloaded the controller stuff again. I did find it. So like it's Delta 4 or something. Oh my god, it chugs when you off click. Do not off click. Oh wait, let's go back there. I thought I'd seen some like side of his ribs. Interesting. Alright. I think that's fine though. But we haven't done anything, so that makes sense. We don't have a save. This is what we're looking up to. Not set up yet. Not set up yet, obviously. That's what we're going to be looking into, is getting that stuff done today. If we can, that. And then we can get this one transferred over as well. So what do we need to get those done? Well, first things first, I believe if we open our drawer here, I don't know, sometimes it doesn't work. Systems, we should probably pull up our game instance. We're probably going to need that. Then we are probably going to need our game instance. Then we're going to need our game. This is gotta go up here. See, this is why I like the drawers better. But game mode, menu mode. Might not need those. Okay, for sure we're gonna need the multiplayer mode. The rest of the stuff seems like it's working, so I might not even need a lot of this stuff. So let's just go into multiplayer mode. So when we go in, our continue and load button aren't loading up because we haven't made a multiplayer game. Makes sense. Continue and load. Makes sense. And that kind of stuff is copying from the single player, and I think that's where we were kind of left off. Now we want to go into the next two buttons, which are the host and browse. So for that, we have a little cheat sheet in a sense. Let's see where we're going with it. Just this here, blueprints, core, main menu. Core, main menu. And this guy has just a PC. Open him up, and he opens up a main menu blueprint. We'll open that up. We probably don't need the PC because all it's doing is pull up the character, and we're really just mainly focused on the actual menu systems themselves. So we have a host here. We're creating a host widget blueprint, right? This just has some basic kind of functions. So when we click our host game, because we're starting a new game, first we need to know if the player is going to be male or female. No. Oh, and that's when the button is actually clicked. It's going to be taking the kind of thing on it. So when we click this here to create this button, this widget, So what we need to do is we need to create a widget. That's what we're really missing here. This is the host options widget, I guess we'd call it. Systems, game modes, menus, widgets. What would it be most closest like? I don't think I have any widgets that are really close right now. Alright, I think we're working on the multiplayer load last time. Browse session widget. Odd, we did browse session before we did host. Let me see. No, we should have did host first. I just got sleepy by the end of the night. Yeah, we'll still do host first. So just like this, we are going to do something like this here. So when we go to here, we got this host, and when this is clicked, we need to pop not set up yet. realize that. And so we are going to need to create another one of these parent variables. So this is the load widget. I'll have to double make this here and call this host options. Because it's the host options widget. And the top widget's still going to be the same. So let's just for now go with one of the load or kind of things. Control. Let's just go with one of the kind of like load ones. This is a bit. Line load, sure. We'll duplicate this and we call this host. The host's options widget blueprint. And then we are going to need the main widget, not the design, but the main widget. So when we click on the multiplayer widget, it should, parent widgets to activate, have host options, and we will click, should have our new widget there, which we don't. Because it's not there maybe. So we do host options widget. Let's throw it in here so we have it there. Host options, there we go. So now it's going to choose that host options widget. And in this host options widget, we're going to have to set some stuff. The top guy, our fade UI, and we're going to have to set activate this widget when going back, which is just our main design widget, I believe. Let's click on another one. Well, that's the multiplayer widget. So this is actually going to go to the multiplayer widget, actually. Yeah. Yeah, then go back to the multiplayer widget. Here we go. And compile. And save that guy. So we could throw these this way over here. So we kind of have his over here and mine over here. We'll we'll close browse for now. So now we have this host option that's going to be activated, and this widget going to be deactivated. And so we're going to need to open that host options. And in here, it's expandable, but I want to see about wrapping these guys in horizontal boxes. And then fill. Fill. You seem weird. Size override. Show text number. Sorry, this is fill. This shouldn't need to be fill. This should be auto. Auto? Why do these both have to be fill? Interesting. And the little X on them, the little white box, sorry, on them, usually dictates where the thing's going to be. The input, to say if you hit enter space or whatever. And I don't know why that's going to be hovering over the button. It's just this base UI button too. But pretty much I want to test having actually a couple of these. Duplicate. Duplicate. And when we go back here, we're going to have all this stuff here. On activate, when we activate our host widget, we want to clear all this stuff. I don't think we want to do anything with this. Oh no. We kind of want to look at the new player save options. Single player, what our start option looks like. On activate. Yeah, we want to kind of have something like this. But on our actual widget, we don't need any of this stuff, because that's going to be handled in the parent widget, whether we have load and unload variable. So just going to go to one second. See, yeah, what I want to test is if I can move back and forth between the buttons. I know I can for our like pop-up boxes. Guys, I'm just gonna grab another USB cable. Here's my USB cable would stop working. So even though it doesn't do anything right now, I kind of want to test just being able to navigate through the options with my controller and what it kind of looks like. Let's see here. Oh. You kidding? Well, that isn't cool. A restart. Let's see how it looks. Let's hit play. I will end up having to test that after. Just hope it's good. So there was a little bit of clicking on his shirt. Post. So it should be able to just go back and forth. Unfortunately, we're gonna have the letter, I think, on it. Okay, see how this has the X button in the little box here? That X button, for some reason, is gonna be like right on top of, like when we check out the design. It's gonna be, looks like it's gonna be right on top of the D here. But it's not over here. So it could just be like the word size and stuff. So if that's the case, we're definitely not going to want to fill these. Let's do auto. Let's click on load one here and do auto. I'm trying to think of if I have something in the center and I fill it with. Let's get a text block in there. For now, yeah. Text. Settings, text item, base text blocks, hit text blocks, audio text blocks. Let's do base text box. We'll stick it in between these guys. No, that's not what we want. Is there any time he does something that's not a button in his menus? I guess like finding home. Everything else is a button, I think. Oh, I'm gonna have to actually open up the hyper stuff. Because when the words change, or if I go to change the looks or styles later on, I want it all to follow the same kind of systems. Same kind of look and everything like that. Style. Widgets. Common UI. See, because they all take the style, the rich text, and all that stuff. They use the action bars. Blueprints. Nope, that's how he's configuring it all. Icon, localize. He's going to be, see, we're using the localization. That's another big thing, is we're going to be wanting to use the localization. Widgets, generic elements, headers, icon, panels, search, progress bars. Search, that's just like a search bar. Progress bar. Panels. No. Icon. No. Headers. Your header title here. I could use a header. So far. Oops. Yeah, I was supposed to close that. Actually. So, oops. Confirm dialog. No, that's just like a pop-up. And then it's buttons. We don't really want a button. So yeah, I'll just use the header, I guess. That's the best option for now. So, yeah, here, in between here. So we want header is what it was called. Row header? UI row header? What is that? I throw that in. I'll take the master header and throw it in here. Oh, that's huge. I like this one better. Just something simple. Let's try the row header then. Whoa. Control Z, whatever I just did there. Oh, I apparently removed a widget. Alright, so we have this row header. And so here, we kind of just want an arrow, to be honest. That might even wrap this with a vertical box. So, we got our host options widget, which is the blueprint. Hosts overlay. Overlay. Call it menus vertical box. Oh. We have some names that sense. Home menu, size box, no. Menus, side box. Online menus vertical box. Hosts, logo, menu, just hit logo, X. This has the logo and stuff in it. Oh, this is actually the entire menu still. But it's just doesn't include it's the size box. This is inside the size box. Vertical box inside the post vertical box will say that's the logo size box, that's the same. Online saves. Oh, because this is one of the load menus. So we're not going to have any of those. We're not going to have a scrolling bar, no. We can still have the spacer, though. Between that and the logo. Where is the spacer? Size 1? Let's do 5, actually. We have a horizontal box. We'll do this horizontal box for max players for now. This is horizontal box, and then we'll have max players left button. And we'll kind of like copy that. And we'll go back to the designer. We'll click on this guy here. Max players right button. Here we go. And in here we'll have max players label, and we're going to need another one of these, and we'll call this max players text. Now the label will not be a variable, and this will be a fill. Oh, this will be an auto. The vertical box will be a fill. This will make sure that between these two things it will cover that. Yeah, we could do fill and fill just so it's kind of like balanced there in the center. And the header text would be max number of players. And this text we will say like 0 for now, or we'll do default to like 2 for now, and we'll We want to center the text. Can we do that? We have text color, different colors. The spacing is what doesn't matter. Because the vertical box is still going to make sure it fills. Max number of players. Button left. Upper, lower. Square. Header button. Clear. Rectangle top bar. Ah, here we go. So we'll do the square. Oh, uppercase, but it doesn't really matter. Left. Let's see what we got. You get like the D-pad. File path, learning speed, PG, PNG. This is apparently a crosshair? Why is this aim? But the right side, again, use button. We just want this to be a square, and we'll do right. Actually, we'll go here, and we'll shift right click, shift left click, and we'll just actually do right like that. We'll just kind of shift left click, square, shift left click, square, and we'll do the same thing with this other side now. We'll actually shift right click, then shift left click, square, and we'll do shift left click and Where? Now, did I somehow? Yeah, I just missed to click that. There we go. Now, so this one would be like network type. And so we'd wrap this again with the vertical box. Throw this in there. And then here it would be like LAN. Oh, online. And here would be like gender. And here would be, oh, we'd have to wrap this with the vertical box again. Throw that in there. And then here would be like mail. And then this vertical box we would fill. This vertical box would be filled. What's going on here? Max players. This would be network type horizontal box. We open this up. We have left autofill that. Click here. Oh, these are fill still. These are supposed to be auto. That's why. But this would be like Control C. Oh, designer. That. Copy. That happened again? Yeah, because I'm not double clicking it, I'm just like single clicking it. This would be network type. Go left. Network type. Left. Or right, sorry. could use something like that just to keep it simple. I would really prefer if that was a capitalized, but I do not want to go back now. And this was J. Lift. Oops. G right. There we go. Get the G left, get the G right. And then we'll just fix this up with a G. And we'll just do a G. These guys are more important because we will be changing them inside. What button to focus? So when we come in, we do want to kind of focus left, actually. That left button. Now left is variable, that's fine. That's not a variable, that is a variable. That is a variable. Yes. That is a variable, that isn't a variable, that is a variable. That is a variable, isn't a variable. Okay, so it's good, alright. So, sure, now when I double click it, it's not going in there. So that's like the first button. MPF left and MP right. So what we want to do is we want to have a variable which is an integer, and we call it max players. Compile. And so, by default, max players is going to be 2. And on activation, we're going to have to set some of these ones that change anyway. But yeah, the simple thing is what we're going to be doing is we're going to get max players. We're going to minus minus or decrement. So on left, minus minus, decrement it. If this is less than, 2. Then we're going to branch out because you are, if you're just doing a solo player game, you should just do a solo player game. Wouldn't make sense to host when you're not going to be at an advantage or anything. Yeah, if it's true, if it is less than 2, then we want to set max players to 99. Sorry about that. And we're going to want to set our text. So max player text, that's it. Get it? Set. Tooltip text. Text color. Set header text. If it's false, we're just going to set the text of whatever this is. Might be able to bring this up just to kind of tidy it up a bit, but still don't think that's going to save me enough room for this guy here. We're still going to have to go down, I think. Essentially, we were doing the same thing again, but with plus plus. We're duplicating this. See, it's going to be right on this guy. Guess like I could do that. Alright, but yeah, instead we're going to do plus plus, and instead for our plus plus we are going to do greater than 99. Then it's going to equal 2. There we go. We're just gonna have a button at the bottom, I think, actually. So we're gonna have these buttons, but we still need one more kind of button at the bottom. So you got your network, you got your gender, horizontal box. This way we can kind of close it off and we know what each one of these boxes are. Like that. But we want to duplicate this button and kind of stick it here and then kind of stick it here. Close that. We want to make sure it's there. And this would be confirm or start button. And so for this button, show text number with show number text. No. And this would be something like that, I guess. It's all upper. We'll go with like header. Yeah. And the letters now are going to be start. Oh, these are not to be fill. These are supposed to be auto. This is supposed to be auto. There we go. Now we can kind of fix this up if we need to make our own kind of header that still uses his kind of, or kind of follows the same pattern as his. If you can't make a child of it, but yeah. So when we hit start, that's when we want to do. We want to cast everything to the thing. It's going to be like this here. Control C. Go here. Go to the start button. We go to on clicked. We're going to have a couple more things up there. Don't want to go too low though. Here should be fine. Paste some of this stuff in. This doesn't make any sense. Grab this. Grab this. So on start button, we'd be creating a new save slot. We'll just call it new game for now. Later on, I at least want to put the time with it, like get time. So get player data, and we'll also get time. and then get the game instance and do a new save slot. This time it is multiplayer. Game instance interface. This time it is interface. I mean multiplayer, sorry. Two, one, do usual three, and usual three. All right. Now we need for network type. And we'll just do online and LAN for now. So we're going to need these two. We could probably... We'll keep gender open because we will need to do that next. So left button. On clicked. And designer. Right button. On clicked. So for this, I'd like to use an integer as well and do an on switch. So integer net, call it total network types, total network types, and say we're just going to have kind of one for now. Because just online is basic. It's the default. So, and then it's kind of the same. Duplicate. We'll get something like that here. But it's going to be this. So we're going to get total network types, which is the left button. We're going to do minus minus. And if it is less than 0, So negative number, then it equals 1. But we want to make this modular later on. So actually, we're going to want to duplicate this, and we want to call this network types. Network types, and this goes in here. Network types goes in there. And then we get total number. If it's less than 0, then we're going to set it to the total number, which is going to bring this guy down. So we're going to need to space this one out. This one is going to need to come down 1 at least to make it look presentable. Right. For this, though, what we're going to do is switch on int. And create an array of strings, or what are these? This is text, an array of text. So text array, and call it network names. We grab this here, get a copy. And then later on, all we're doing is just increasing the pin, and because we're always going to get the player no matter what. It's always going to kind of line up, because we're going to get the whatever the player is. We're going to have a bunch of network names here, and the network name is whatever's going to line up with this text here. So right now, since it's just 1, we're going to add to the array, so we have 0 and 1 here. So 0 is going to be online, and 1 is going to be LAN. So header text is going to be online or LAN, switching between them. So network types plus plus, which again should be defaulted at 0. And if that is greater than total network types, then we're going to set it to 0. Ooh. Can't forget. You kind of need to do this again down here. Don't need this. Don't need this. Don't need this. Need to put this in here. Need to link this guy. If false, we're going to switch on integer, and then we're going to go to the header here. And I probably won't need both of these. We'll move it like this anyway, I guess. Do something like that. So, minus minus, if it isn't less than 0, then whatever it is, which it probably will be 0 in this case, there. If it's not less than 0, then it would be 0 because it would be 1. If it isn't less than 0, then we're just going to right away set the selection and get it and set the header. Kind of like that. Yep. Oh, wow. Starts already here. I have to move that down because we still got to do gender next too. Alright. Something similar to this. So we got this. Expand this. Actually, we'll just take this out. That way we could just do a simple copy. So just duplicate. No, I knew I was going to run into this. Do it like that, I guess. Hate spacing things out for no reason, but that way it all fits in. Alright. And we want to go like that. And again, we'll just delete this and we will kind of copy this. Moving it down here. And there we go. And for the last one, we'll probably see if we can just do flip-flops. Got my swim trunks and my flippy floppers. Base. Base. Get new player. I wonder, single player. We set is female here. Then we get data. And we're calling this is female here. So does that mean I have an in is female? I do already have an is female button. Okay. It's good to know. So flip flop. Alright, so we're just gonna get this is female. Get is female. Branch. We do a flip flop. That's only if this button gets hit over and over again. We're actually going to want to do something kind of akin to this. We want text headers. We need to set the text header. We can't just set it to true or false. We're going to need to set it to might be able to do with one. Oof. That's a close call. I need network, not player. So that's player. This is network, 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 network. And then this one is gender. Oh. There's no switch on. There's switch on int, switch on float. No, switch on enum. Oh, switch. Interesting. Not sure where this comes from. Switch on enum. But anyway. Yeah, it's just true or false. Try to give it space here. Yeah. For getting the female, we're just going to branch. And branch. So if it's true, we'll duplicate this, I guess, and have two of these. If it's true, we have male, we have female. If it's true, if this female is true, we're going to set it to male. If it's false, we're set it to female. If this is true, we're going to set it to male. If it's false, we're going to set it to female. That simple. You guys are really trying to overcomplicate things. But the way this ended up, I can't actually move this up one. Yeah, if I move it up one more, it's going to clip with this. Like I could try to do something like that. It's still going to clip. Okay, this is fine. Technically, it'd be one down. Nah. Look at this, it's fine. So, that's setting the variables that we need, I believe. And from here, after the variables are set, we should need to pass on a lot of these variables. I'm surprised I don't have that option in this. So, we will go to our game instance file. We're doing that stuff. So, the first thing we're doing are creating a new save slot. That should be fine. We're just creating a save slot. So that'd be the event graph. Create new save slot. We're getting player data. Or we're just creating a new save slot. That all seems fine and dandy to me. Right. But what about the other thing? The transition. On new game. On new game is multiplayer. We're just setting the multiplayer for now. Checking if the game save is there. Oh. On new game, we do nothing. Nothing. But on like continue and load, we'd be doing this here. Copy. So I think we need that on new game and continue game, no, because we should be getting it from the load. But yeah, what we'd be doing is, if it is multiplayer, we would be creating a session here. So I think I'm gonna do, this is on start new. I'm gonna change this to on start new solo game. And I'm going to remove the multiplayer from this. Here, we're just confirming the save exists, which we always are making the save right before we come here anyway. So the save should exist. We're getting our lobby level set as our current level. We're inserting our current level into the save. Saving the data so it knows what level it's supposed to be in. Then there's none of this multiplayer. And we're just going to simply load up this. So this will require us to open up the gameplay interface. So we're going to hit that Control Shift. We're going to find your home, systems. I have to recolor everything now. I didn't realize it was going to do that to me. We want not the instance, but our interface, which is here. Game instance interface. Transition. Start new game. Let's start new solo game. And then we're going to add function, and it is going to go up here, and it is going to be start or host new game. That one's going to have an yeah, we'll work out what that needs. But this, we're going to take out that. We're going to go here to the game instance where it's on the graph. We're going to refresh. And there we are. We're going to take these down. Could put it here. Well, I don't want to put it here. There we go. And we're going to go to interfaces, transition, host new game. I'm going to put that in our transition over here. And we are going to create a new function. What's not on here? There we go. We're going to create a new function. It's going to be called on host new game. It'll be part of level transition. And this is host new game. single player. That's to be wherever we're calling that. There we go. Yeah, it's already alright because we weren't really using that variable anyway. But the save is fine because it's not too different for the saves when we're creating a new save slot. We don't need to have a whole new variable for that. And so yeah, we just are creating a session. And that's going to go to create session, which is going to be in the event graph. You can only create a session in the event graph. In the session, we just have the lesson server here. In the session, we need a player controller. We could pass that public connections and LAN. Level's going to be the same. That's fine. So, yeah, pretty much. So, we could do that stuff. So we could go to the game instance and put player controller, player controller, player controller. What can I spell? Oh. Player controller, and this is player controller. Controller. There you go. Then it's public connections. So we're going to have private connections once we get into Steam. Then we'll have is LAN, and Steam will have more than just is LAN or not LAN. Last is level, but I don't think I need level. So, get owner. Get owning. Get owning player, which is gets player controller. And then get max players. And right now, network type is greater than 0, then LAN is true. Alright. So I guess we can give this a test. Not good. Let me see here. Let's see what's going on. We got the host. This is definitely being called, right? Next players. We'll just open up all these kind of guys here. We'll start up left. Left. It's weird that you'd have a button but not have the button be selectable. I guess that is why there is no headers or anything like that, really. And why I had to use these headers is because I think he's just using a button, but it doesn't make it selectable. So it's not actually a button, it's just a picture or text thing with more options. Because you can't actually click it. I just don't know how that works for selections then. Is the gamepad still going to see it? Oh, she didn't have to restart my computer from a gamepad. Sorry, guys. Next time for Tuesday, should be good to go. Alright, so online, host. Oh, this is selectable. Right. These are being selected. We we don't want these to be selectable, I guess. Because they're just being clicked. Yeah, we're using selectable on another one, which is like actually when you're highlighting. When we're doing load and unload, we're highlighting a save file so we can delete it. So those save files are selectable. But what is going on here? All of them not working. Do I need to do something for activations? Don't remember anything. Last player save. These are just set invisibilities. But we're not actually stating anything for the actual activation. We already have to get desired. We do have to do set our on back handler, sure. That shouldn't affect it. Get desired, on back handler. This is just for loading. So we don't. Do we don't want override our on back handler. I don't think. We just want to make sure that in this one here, we have that we can go back, and then it's just going to go back to the player widget. But yeah. Scratch that. On a print string here. Should say 99, but we know it's not. Is alpha less than or greater than 2? Greater than. Yeah, so it's less than. Is it less than 2? If it's true, if it is less than 2, then we're going to set it. Otherwise, hello. This even just confirms that the buttons are working or not, which they should be. Like, I have no clue why it wouldn't be working. Host. Hello. Hello. 99. Hello. So that was 99 was. How come this didn't get set? So things are changing, you're just not setting. See, 99. So that should have been 99. But it's not setting. This is a text, right? That's what it says. So what if we get this out? We can't set it. Set clipping, text color, tooltips, foreground color, padding, brush, mesh. On spawn, set text color. Go to the designer. The header text is male. This is called on spawn. Alright guys, it's after 11, so I'm going to have to call this here 99. Ooh. Yeah, I'll call it here. We'll pick this up next time. But it says that it's not instance editable. That's why we can't change it. This is not a public variable. So, parent class active. So we might have to make our own widget. Or we might have to use the buttons. Apparently we can't change the text. It's only on spawn. So we'll have to change the button type. But yeah, so these labels won't work. we'll just have to change the labels, and we'll get that done next time, guys. Or I might just look into that quick because we did all the real work. That's just like annoying little testing things. And so, yeah, we'll be back on Tuesday, hopefully. And, yeah, we'll be going over more of this stuff, testing things. And hopefully just move it on to profiles. Thank you guys for much coming to stream and checking out the vlog. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Ciao.